Life is a winding road.
Welcome to the restorative movement class. My name is Veronica. For today's class, we're going to need a chair, a space by the wall, a towel, full body size, and a pillow. So, so let's get started. So you can fold the towel this way and sit over it. We're just going to we're going to do a brief introduction. This class is going to be a very short one, especially dedicated for the legs. So have your hands in the center of your chest. You can do one hand over the other. If it feels right for you to place palms together, go ahead. Tune in with your breath. Check in with the sounds of your breath as you inhale deeply. As you exhale softly. With the hands also, feel the movement of your chest upward and to the front as you inhale, and downwards and to the center as you exhale. Place an intention for today's practice. Open slightly your eyes. We're going to have our towel at the side and we're going to grab our chair. So today we're going to practice a lot the runner's pose. So we're going to just give the legs a little warm up, a little stretch. If you need to stand up to lift your chair, go ahead because some of you guys have a heavier chair and you're going to place it in front of the wall. So this is the wall that I'm going to use so you can see a better perspective. Just place the chair in front of you and have the back of your chair facing you, the seat of your chair facing you. So the runner's pose is just like a lounge pose that we do a lot. So we're going to have our elbows on the seat of the chair. Right leg is going to come to the front, and just make sure you can do this knee over ankle and reach with your left foot the wall. So the 5 toes are pressing down the floor, and in this case, for example, the knee is before the ankle, and that's safer. If your knee, for example, is past the ankle, that's not safe. So you can either have it before, that's a little bird, before the ankle, and that would be a soft one. The more you sink the hip down, the more intense. So really press here. You can do the elbows or you can have the hands in case that's too much. And we're gonna start moving a bit. Our joints, feel the knee straightening and bending, feel the hip moving up and down. Inhale and exhale, easy movements as you press the toes down and the heel to the wall. Inhale and exhale. With the next inhalation, you're going to straight as much as possible the right knee. Straight and straight as you lift the kneecap, as you compress the thigh towards the femur, as you press the shoulders away from the ears. 2 more breaths. Deeply in, deeply out. And one last round. Inhale, easy does it. Exhale, no hurry. Stay here and now. Now we're going to bend again the knee and have the elbows down on the chair. And we're going to pulse the hip down and pulse in a way, of course, that the knee does not tap the chair. In case it does that, just pull the chair a bit forward and tap and tap and start feeling here the legs really warming up, really stretching in some sides and engaging in others. Very nice. Inhale here and exhale. Straighten your arms and you're gonna really step the left foot forward until you can place both feet like 1 foot distance from the chair, and you start lifting the coccyx up. You can micro bend the knees or not, and then reach. This is a pose that we have done with your hands over the seat of the chair. In this case, you're going to press the navel in. Press it, so we can erase the arch of your spine, the arch of the lower back. We want to avoid have that, so keep pressing the navel in. Long deep breath in, long deep breath out. Reach with your hands forward. Rotate the coccyx up and forward. Erase the lower back arch. Very good. So this is a great practice if you've been standing for too long. If your legs need some movement, let's switch sides. There you go. So 5 toes on the floor and press the other part of the rest of your foot to the wall. Grab your chair with the hands steady. Inhale and exhale. Keep moving and keep working. Straighten as much as possible, more and more. Lift the kneecap, compress thighs towards femur. Keep breathing. Feel the toes on the other side, stretching the soles of your foot. And we're gonna bend the knee. Remember, release. Nothing is mandatory. Release if you need a little break, and pulse the hip. Pulse and pulse. This is gonna really stretch the right thigh from the very top of the leg all the way a bit to the knee. Very good. Press and press. Straighten the arms. Careful and hop that foot to the front until you can have your feet hip width apart. And we're going to do the same. So again, feel that you pull your hips backwards and you reach with the hands forward as you press the navel in to raise the lower arch, your back. And now the next action is to draw your armpits, your chest a little bit more down. Keep holding the head. The head is not dangling. Hips backward, fingers forward, navel in, armpits down. Breathing in, breathing out for one last breath. Bend your knees, hands on the seat of your chair, hands on the hips, and that's the way you're going to stand up very safely. Beautiful. Well done. So now we're going to grab the chair. This is such a short practice, don't worry. a bit dizzy. So just take your time to breathe. We're going to have the chair against the wall as so, and we're going to do the same, the runner's pose. We're going to start with the right foot forward and the left one back. This time we're going to increase a little bit. We're going to turn up the volume of this very nice song by reaching the wall and the top edge of the chair. So again, the hip goes up. In case you want to soften, it goes down for a bit more intensity. Find your own depth. Now keep pressing the chair towards the wall. You can use a door as well. Press it and press it. Sink the armpits down. Inhale here. 2 more breaths. Almost there. Exhale softly. One last round. Long deep breath in. Stay here with me. Feel that action of the heel. Left heel pressing. 5 toes down. Exhale, elbows on the ground and left knee down on the earth. Right knee beside the first one. We're going to have a little rest here, kneeling and placing the forehead on the chair, restoring the energy, recovering the breath. Keep moving the breath all the way in and all the way out. Let's go to the other side. Get set. Left foot. And the right one steps far. You can also, remember, have the knee behind the heel. That's a softer version. And reaching for the upper part of the chair and the wall. You're pressing it as we did previously, but this time pressing the wall. Now 5 toes on the ground, and just imagine you have the wall against the right sole of your foot. Sink the armpits down, feeling the burn on the legs. Now just imagine all the blood flow that is running and nurturing and nourishing every cells of your legs. And this is great for the blood flow, for circulation. I know it's an effort. I know it's discomfort. But you know, in this program, we work a lot that type of exposure. And it's so beneficial for you. So give me just 2 more breaths. Long deep breath in. We're almost there. Long deep breath out. You're making it. You're doing very good. And next exhalation. Elbows on the chair. Right knee on the floor. Ooh. I hope you felt that. Left knee beside the first one. Adjust yourself so you can kneel. If you need to sit down because this might be too much for the knees, then just sit down. A little pause, a little break, time for silence. Observing how the body is relaxing, how it moves to another side, how it passes from the black side of the yin, of the yang, to the white side of the yin, being so complementary, so interlaced, needing each other, for not being too much on one part, too relaxed, too shut down, but being in the uplifting type of energy, but also then relaxing. So that's what we want to experience. That's a great job. So you're going to leave the chair just like that as it is. And you're going to grab the towel, please. Make sure you're folding it in a way it's this way first, and then until you have a square. In case you have an injury or problems on your neck, you might not want to do this, or you might want to put 2 towels or 3 towels even, so you can actually have the neck super, super relaxed. So you're going to place the towel here, and we're going to place our calves, our legs on the chair. So start by placing the hip. Then you're going to be kind of moving the towel upwards because your hip is going to be here and then the shoulders are going to be here. Okay, so place the hip right in front of the chair in this kind of fetal pose. And then have your legs over the chair, the calves specifically. And then the shoulders over the towel and the head. That's very important. The head has to be on the floor. So we're lifting the upper body. We're lifting the torso. Again, if you feel that you have like rectification, the neck is quite, it doesn't have the curve, or your head does not feel right there, then place another towel. And the towel goes from the shoulders down. Just make sure your chair is well against the wall, because we're going to place the heels on the edge of the chair and the palms of the hands facing down. That's important. Make sure there's no hairband or nothing that makes discomfortness on the head. And with the heels, just check on the screen before you do this. With the heels, I'm lifting the hip as much as I need. It can be very little, it can be a lot. So careful. If you go a lot, then you have to gaze the ceiling. Don't gaze to the sides. That's not safe to your neck. So if you're lifting the hip a lot, and if you feel that your shoulders are sliding away from the towel, then sit yourself a bit closer to the chair and have your shoulders really well on the towel. Again, heels on the chair. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, hip up, it can be just a bit. Exhale, hip down. We're going to do it 3 more times. When you inhale, hip comes up and the toes of your feet, looking for the seat, the chair. Start feeling the thighs again working. Your feet hip width apart, please. 2 more rounds. Inhale. And 1 more round. Engage your pelvic floor. And stay up as much as it's possible for you, lifting and lifting and lifting the hip. And down. Very well. Rest the sacrum on the floor, legs and calves over the chair, and resting here. I'm sorry, excuse me, relaxing and restoring the breath. One option to start wrapping up the movement part of this practice is to stay here in case you want to lift the hip again using the heels on the chair. go ahead, you can do one last time. But I'm going to give you one extra posture for those that are having a very comfortable mobility that you can just a little bit more when you trespass the comfort part and that you really like the challenges. So if you're not there, it's okay. It's totally fine. Stay where you are. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the towel even closer to the hip, closer to the chair, and we're going to grab the chair here. We're going to lift the hip and we're going to climb. So grabbing the chair there with the fingers. You see, I cannot gaze to the side, so you want to look this first. So this is first option. Grabbing the chair, this opens the chest as you do the same with this shoulder inversion. So that's one option. And the second option is that you're going to look for placing the buttocks, walking with the shoulders, placing the buttocks over the edge of the chair as I am doing so, the edge of the chair, and then looking for the wall so you can place the soles of your feet. I am grabbing the chair with my hands at all times. My buttocks are over the chair, but sometimes I can even press the wall with the feet that I can actually lift the hips. So go ahead and see if you can just grab the chair and lift the hip, or walking the shoulders one then over the other, walk to have your hip closer to the chair so you can place the hip over the seat of the chair. It looks like this, pretty cool. You can actually stay with the hip over the chair and point your feet towards the ceiling, above the face, above your face. This is such a nice inversion. You're having the hip over the heart a bit above from the head. And of course, the legs are way above the head. So, in terms of circulation and blood flow, this is magical. You can have again the soles of your feet over the wall. Breathe in, breathe out. This is a shoulder standing, external, rotating the shoulders very far from the heart, very far from the heart. Okay, start climbing the feet down and walking the shoulders, please, far from the chair, far from the chair, all the way so you can place the hip down on the floor. And you can just relax in this last pose. The inversion action, it's called inverted action. This pose, it's called when we just place the legs up. It's like an inversion, like a headstand, like a shoulder stand, but in the super softy, mellowy version. So safe, so peaceful, so full of joy. Every breath, every inhalation and exhalation makes me feel so relaxed, so peaceful, so, so full with joy. The same way we enter into the pose, let's go into the fetal pose. Drop your feet to the sides, flip over, gaze the floor, all fours, standing. And let's wrap up the session with the jellyfish flower. breath exercise that we did last class. So I really recommend you to go progressively through these videos. Start with the earliest date you have and then go to the next date you have and so on. Just allow your body to acknowledge and encounter again the new verticality, having the brain over the heart again. So when we do those inversions, we remind ourselves that we are not brain, that the brain shouldn't be in charge all the time. So we place the heart on top and the hip and the legs, even the feet. There are there sometimes and we don't pay attention to the feet. We're placing all the way up to the top and we give them space to rule, to be at the summit of this mountain, to remind ourselves that having the feet up in the earth remind us that we are full body with full sensations and we quiet the mind. The brain, most of it, I believe that the mind runs all the way the body. So just quiet the brain. We're gonna wrap up again this session with this inhaling gesture in the hands, elbows up and together, and then fingers start swimming deep into the ocean like a jellyfish as you exhale till you straight the arms. Inhale, fingers first, start blooming up. Fingers first to start blooming down. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Fingers down. Straight your arms. One more. Bloom and sprout all the way up. And then exhale, swimming back again into the ocean, into the depths of the sea, of the oceanic breath. Thank you very much for practicing. You can stay here meditating, enjoying the silence. May yourself be peaceful, be relaxed, and be full with joy. May all beings in all spaces be peaceful, be loved, and be full with joy. See you next time, and thank you very much.
Life is a winding road.